Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about Scorpio season, which occurs every year when the sun enters the sign of Scorpio. And this is beginning on October 23rd, 2021, and going until November 21st. On the 22nd, the sun will enter Sagittarius. And so, Scorpio season, we got a little preview of these Scorpio energies when Venus entered Scorpio. What was that, about a month or so ago? And now we're getting the full taste of that. Not only do we have the sun that's going to be in Scorpio, but we are going to be experiencing in November as well Mars in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, a lot of that powerful scorpionic energy. So it's going to be intense. Scorpio is arguably the most intense sign in the zodiac. It is the planet that was formerly ruled by Mars and is now known to be ruled by Pluto. It rules that 8th house, right? All of those energies, the energies of mysticism, of the occult, of life and death and rebirth and transformation, of the shadow, of deep intimacy and sexuality. And so all of these themes we're going to be exploring as we move through this Scorpio season. Scorpio also represents the shadow, right? It is all of those deep, dark aspects of our nature, our deep burning passions and desires. And with all of this intensity of emotion and energy, we can experience some of those lower vibratory energies as well when it comes to possessiveness, jealousy, envy. Scorpio is known and represented by the scorpion. And so we have that venom, that stinging tail, right? And so Scorpio is an energy, because there is such a deep level of emotion that can be sometimes reactive. It can be vengeful. And so there's a lot that may be triggering us during Scorpio season that's really begging us to go deeper, to look deeper within ourselves, to understand something much more deeply within us. Scorpio is the second water sign in the zodiac. That first water sign, of course, being Cancer. And so now we're moving out. The first signs in an element in the zodiac represent that original journey of self, right? And then we begin to expand our horizons and experience ourselves in relation to others. And so with this Scorpio energy, we're understanding, and we got a taste of this beginning with Libra season, which was very much about partnership. It was about our relationship to the other. And now in Scorpio, it's where we take that relationship deeper. So it's not only that relationship to ourselves that we're taking deeper, but our relationships to others and the way that we connect with others. This is the energy that likes to dive deep. Scorpio likes to get past the pretenses. There is nothing shallow about this energy. So we're craving deep soul-to-soul connections, both with ourselves and with the other people in our realities. And we're really wanting to understand what makes ourselves tick and what makes other people tick as well. Scorpio is really good at that. And so really taking this deep dive into our subconscious, into our consciousness, right? Into all of our deep desires, our wants, our needs, and all of the different ways that we sometimes react to those needs or attempt to fulfill those needs, and whether those are in vibrational resonance with us. So we're really going to be noticing that as well, noticing our what is behind, what is our true motivation and intention behind the things that we say and the things that we do, right? And what is the need that's wanting to be fulfilled there? What is it that we are striving to achieve through our actions, through the things that we do, through the things that we say? So very, very intense and powerful energies as we are traversing this shadow. This month of November that we're moving into, which will be this a large chunk of Scorpio season, is really giving us a preview of the energies that we're going to be experiencing in 2022, which is very much working along this Taurus-Scorpio axis. And so this development of the emotional body, right, of the spiritual body, of the physical body as well, coming into into a harmony with all these aspects of who we are. And with this Scorpio season energy, it's the spiritual that we're focusing on, right? It's the emotional body and all of the different ways that we experience our emotional body in this very visceral sort of manner. So to begin with the Scorpio season reading, we're gonna go dark, you guys. Right? And this is perfect too, as we have Halloween during Scorpio season, of course, right? Where we get to celebrate more of this esoteric side, right? We get to tap into and play with our darkness a little bit. It's all about exploring our darkness and befriending our darkness, right? So we're going to start out with a dark mirror oracle to look at what shadow energies may be coming up for us during Scorpio season. Clear. What shadow energies we may be working through, may be revealing themselves to us. Yeah, this is the key to Scorpio energy, right? Scorpio energy must go within. Scorpio energy must be willing to acknowledge the shadow, to acknowledge all of the truth of their desires, their wants, their needs, their passions. If Scorpio energy does not do this, this is where we see those energies of paranoia, those lower vibratory energies, the neuroses, all of this stuff starting to pop up, right? It's because we're ignoring aspects of the self. Scorpio does not have that luxury as some other energies do. So in Scorpio season, we are not going to have that luxury either. We are going to be invited and have a beautiful opportunity to really go deep within ourselves and explore those aspects of the self that we may traditionally or typically keep hidden. And everybody on this channel, I mean, this is what we do, right? So this is not going to be necessarily a jarring experience for us because we're always looking deeper within, right? But let's see what we can get here for some of these shadow energies. All right. First card out, we have Masquerade. Interesting. So as we move through Scorpio season, some of these shadow energies that are coming up, we're noticing where it is that we are possibly being inauthentic. Where is it that we are playing a part that is possibly no longer resonating with us? Where are we wearing the mask, right? The masquerade. So this is, of course, a perfect example of the aspects of ourselves that we keep hidden. Those things that we've kept hidden from ourselves that are being brought into plain view. And also the areas where it is that we are perhaps not 100% authentic or on the level. We're being called to take off that mask, to show others who we truly are, to really admit to ourselves who we truly are, what it is that we truly think, feel, need, want, and desire. So in any area of our lives where we have been wearing that mask, where we have been perhaps inauthentic or dishonest. And when this comes up, right, like we said, we want to really examine, why is that? Right? Why is it that I have felt the need to hide this aspect of myself, to hide what I need, to hide what I desire, to hide what I want, not only from other people, but very possibly from myself? Right? Why does it feel safer to hide? Why does it feel safer to play a part? All right, what else do we have coming out here? This is also where we may be noticing, remember, Scorpio energy is really good not only at analyzing and understanding the self, but also others. So we may be noticing where other people are perhaps masquerading. And their true faces may be shown. Their true intents and motivations. Then we have Alone in the World coming up. So this is that energy of isolation. This is that energy of feeling as though we are separate. This is that energy, and I feel like for some people, what's going to come up during Scorpio season as we're examining this aspect of our shadow is where it is that we're separating and isolating ourselves. Some people may begin to notice that you feel alone, but then realize that it's because you've pushed people away. This sense of loneliness. And loneliness and abandonment. I'm feeling abandonment as well. There's going to be energies of abandonment coming up to be looked at. And this understanding, right? People who have wounds of abandonment, one of the key things that we do, it's that energy of leaving before we get left. And so some people may be noticing where you're doing this, where you're leaving a situation first because you're afraid that you're going to be left and you don't want to experience that again. And when we do that, the irony of that is that we are simply perpetuating that cycle. We make it a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Whether they leave or we leave, it's the same result. And we are creating that result because of our fear of being left, of being abandoned. So definitely those fears of abandonment coming in. These energies, these feelings of being different, of being separate. This is also that illusion of separation coming out. Where is it that we are still operating under this illusion of separation? Remember, this illusion of separation is the greatest pain of mankind. Right? When we come down here, we incarnate into these bodies, onto this planet. That veil of forgetting comes over, washes over us, right? And we begin to believe that we are separate from Source, that we are alone. We forget that we are never truly alone. We cannot be truly alone because we are connected to everything. So it's where have we acted out of this energy, out of this illusion of separation? Where is it that we are creating this illusion, perpetuating this illusion of separation in our own lives, in our own relationships? And how is possibly our desire, our fear of being alone, contributing to this masquerade energy, contributing to the masks that we wear, to the roles that we play? So that's a little bit of that people-pleasing energy. That's a little bit of that energy of changing and altering who we are in order to fit in a place that we don't belong. Because we'd rather be in that place with people than in our authenticity alone. But when we are being untrue to ourselves, this is what we may begin to realize on a deeper level during Scorpio season. You can be lonely in a room full of people. Sometimes when you're in a room full of people and you are not truly yourself, you're not able to truly connect with people because you have to hide who you are. It feels far lonelier than simply being by yourself. And so this is something that people may be realizing and coming to a deeper understanding of through Scorpio season. Anything else here? Any other energies? Any other shadow energies? Triumph of Lies. This is an intense card. Visually intense. Just intense in general. And so this is that energy where we come face to face with the lies that we've been telling ourselves, as well as possibly any lies that we've been telling the outside world. This pairs very well with the masquerade energy. Where it is that we've lied and gotten away with it. Or where other people have lied and gotten away with it. Right? And so this is where that vengeful energy of Scorpio comes in. This is where we have to remember that the all-seeing mother knows and sees all. Right? We don't have to deliver karma to people because everything ultimately evens itself out. Right? We don't have to be... This is that energy where a lot of people, like the most generalized view of what karma is, right? Is when people say, oh, that person did something that I believe to be wrong. And now they're going to get punished for it because that's what karma is going to do, right? That's what people think about karma. When we know that what karma really is lessons. It's learning. It's understanding. It is, yes, a balancing and evening of the scales, but it's not about punishment and reward. All right. But this is that energy where we start feeling where we may notice ourselves feeling as though we want to be delivering that to people, that justice. But this is also, ooh, if we think about this in the larger context here, this is a collective energy too. As people, perhaps the shadow of the controllers, those who seek to dominate and control and twist our perspective and our opinions, right? To subjugate us, where their lies start coming to the surface, right? Or this is and the frustration around where that hasn't happened yet, right? Where it appears that I don't like using terms like good and evil, but there does exist true evil in the world, just as there exists true good. And yes, that is a polarity statement. Yes, we are in the process of healing and merging polarity, right? But we are moving out of a dimension where polarity is very, very much a thing, an energy, right? So it's noticing where it has appeared that evil has triumphed, where lies have triumphed. And the frustration of that may be building during Scorpio season. But there may be some reveals happening as some of these lies are stripped away and more truth is revealed. But the truth, remember, we always have access to truth if we go in here. Right? Lies can only triumph if we allow them to. If we're spending too much time paying attention to the outside instead of the inside. This is why we learn to practice discernment. This is why we work with the concept and the energy of resonance, right? Yeah. This is also where we're coming face to face with the energy of lies in general, right? What is a lie? A lie, some people like to get really technical about it, and they like to say a lie is when you state an untruth intentionally, right? But what about omission? Is that a lie? What about those little white lies that we tell each other, that we tell ourselves just to make each other feel better? Just to keep the peace? Masquerade, right? So really examining truth, examining untruth, examining justice, examining where it is that we have given into this energy as well. Where do we play into this energy? Where do we perpetuate lies? Both in our lives and in the greater consciousness. Through our acceptance, through our silence, through our acquiescing to the systems upholding these lies. And where are we ready to break free of that? And then on the bottom of the deck, we have sacrifice. So really understanding who and what we have sacrificed for. Where it is that maybe we have been unwilling to sacrifice and a sacrifice is being called to be made. And where it is that we have perhaps sacrificed more than we should. All right. We're going to keep going with this theme because I really like it. And now we're going to pull some cards from the Wisdom of the House of Night. This is the Nyx deck. And she is the goddess of darkness. One of the, in some mythology, one of the main goddesses of creation. Clear. All right, let's get some guidance for this Scorpio season. Scorpio season. Yeah, working with this energy of lies still, right? Why do we lie? Lies are a form of manipulation. Why do we manipulate? In order to get our needs met, in order to get what we want. And why do we feel the need to manipulate in order to get what we want? Because we feel as though we don't have it. Because we're afraid of something. What is the fear? There's always a fear underlying everything. Everything that we do that is out of alignment. So when we can figure out what that fear is, we can begin to get some great insight into our motivations. All right, first card out. Success. All right, we like that. Let's get some energy to go with that. All right. Of meditation. And we have fragment. And interestingly enough, fragment was inverted. Like this. And so this is really interesting. What this feels like is that working with this energy of meditation during Scorpio season, we're going to get that opportunity to really call some of these, wherever the self has been fragmented, we're going to be able to call some of this energy back so that we can become more whole. And this is, when we're working with Scorpio, when we're working with this energy of the shadow as well, right? Doing these shadow meditations, doing these inner child meditations. There's so many different things that we can do that can really help to call this energy back, that can really help to heal. Remember, when we allow aspects of ourselves to remain in the shadow, those are aspects of who we are. Those are aspects of our light, aspects of our power. We can never fully stand in our light and our power unless we are willing to dive into our shadow, unless we are willing to integrate that back into our being. So there's a deep level of integration through meditation that is available to us this month or this season. I mean, really, it encapsulates a month's worth of time, just, from the 22nd or the 23rd to the 21st. Then we have understanding coming out. Yeah, there's a much deeper level of understanding of self, as well as understanding of others and understanding of our relationships with others. Remember, this Scorpio energy is about deep intimacy, right? We can only be as intimate with another as we are capable of being with ourselves. But as we begin to understand ourselves better, as we begin to understand our own intentions and motivations better, we begin to understand our interactions with other people better as well. But there's also this deeper level of understanding of who we are, right? And of our light. Like, look at her. This is like a perfect photograph of a light body, right? Yeah, so there's deep levels of realization and awakening that are available to us. And then we have love coming out. And if you guys give me just a second, I'm going to just close my door. Sorry about that. There's a building project going on in my house at the same time. So we have love coming out. And then we have choices. So during Scorpio season as well, we're going to have some choices. We're going to have some decisions to make around love. Some people may have options during Scorpio season. But you notice also how this angel, he has one wing that's dark and one wing that's light. So this is also us choosing between, this is us choosing paths. It's us understanding. It feels like us understanding the choices that we're making and what path those are leading us down. Whenever I see the dark and the light, I always think of that fable of like, what wolf are you feeding? When it talks about how we have two wolves inside of us, one that represents that lower vibratory energy, one that represents that higher vibratory energy. Which wolf wins? The one that you feed. And so what choices are feeding our ascension, and what choices are feeding us remaining in this 3D reality? What choices are feeding love, and what choices are feeding fear? What choices are leading us toward the path and the embodiment of ourselves that we desire? And what choices are leading us further away from that? But this is also choices and decisions being made around love. Remember, Scorpio season, we're looking at deep intimacy, we're looking at love, we're looking at relationships, we're also looking about sexuality. Scorpio energy is very much about sexuality. So coming to a deeper understanding of our sexuality, the ways that we utilize our sexuality, the ways that we understand and work with our sexual energy, where it is that we are bonding and melding that energy with another, right? And noticing the effect that that may have on us. Remember, you take on the energy of everyone that you have intimate relations with. So you really want to look at, is this an energy that I want mixing and melding with mine? Do I want to take on their stuff? Because you will. So we really want to be cognizant of that. We want to be cognizant of how we know and understand and experience our own sexuality. Do we see it as a beautiful, sacred, and divine expression? Right? Or have we been trained to see it through a different lens? Do we experience guilt and shame around our sexuality, right? And working through those energies as well. But right now we're talking about the energy of love. The energy of love, the energy of the choices that we make around love. For some people, you may be looking at choices that you made in the past as well. Some people may even be second-guessing choices that they made. Or really beginning to see and understand how the choices in love that they made have led them to where they are now. And then we have fulfillment here. So when it comes to love, we are being called during Scorpio season to make choices that align us more deeply with fulfillment, right? Am I experiencing fulfillment in my relationships? If not, how can I feel and experience a deeper sense of fulfillment? And in Scorpio season, that's going to come from deeper connection, right? Deeper emotional and spiritual connection. Spiritual bonding, that's what I just heard. And then we have loyalty on the bottom of the deck as well. Who are we being loyal to? We must be loyal to ourselves above all else. Yes, loyalty to others is a beautiful quality. It is very important. But if we're not being loyal to ourselves, we're also not being loyal to others, right? Any other cards that want to come out here? But loyalty is something that we are definitely craving, that is definitely important. Both Scorpio and its counterpart, its polarity Taurus, are energies that are very much about loyalty and value loyalty. Trust and loyalty. Yeah, and just as I said, trust, deceit came out. So really paying attention to where it is that we are being deceived or have been deceiving ourselves. Are there choices that we've been making that we thought were aligning us with our fulfillment, but have we been deceiving ourselves about that? Those are questions that may come up for people during Scorpio season. Invisible coming out to go with the deceit. So absolutely with invisible and deceit, this is where self-deceit. This is where we are not being honest or clear with ourselves or others, and we don't even realize it. Right? And notice she's sitting on a mirror. So where can we see the evidence of that reflecting to us in our reality? This evidence of our self-deception. But another aspect that I really like with this energy, because we can always find, this is where we talk about perspective, right? We can always find so many different meanings to things, is also, where have you deceived yourself into thinking that you were invisible, that you were unimportant, that you were small? All right. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Yeah. We're going to pull a couple dream cards. Are we? Yeah, we'll pull a couple of dream. There's a bunch of different cards that I'm wanting to pull right now, and we can't go on clear forever here. But let's get a couple cards from the Dream Oracle. We've got award. Accept your well-earned praise. And we had success come out too. So for some people during Scorpio season, there are going to be incredible advances and successes that are made. It feels like things that you've put effort and time into really coming to fruition. And gift, yes. Awards, gifts, praise. So there's a lot of beautiful energy coming through as well. A lot of really positive, beneficial energy. And this is also, this gift card says be present. And with this polarity here, right, we're also working with that energy of Taurus, which is that energy of presence. So being fully present in our lives, with each other, with ourselves. So important as we move through Scorpio season. But it's also, I feel like, the gifts that we're receiving for our hard work, for our willingness to show up, to be present, to do the work. Right? Wherever it is that we've been putting work in, I think for many of us, we can see the rewards of that beginning to manifest during Scorpio season. Yeah, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the angel, tap into your higher wisdom. Which is pretty self-explanatory, I think. And that could be the reward. Oh, yeah. And that card came right out. This is the angel card. All right. So gifts from the angelic realms, from the spiritual realms as well. But I feel like one of the gifts coming through for people too is this isn't like a physical, like somebody's handing you a physical present or gift. This is like the gift of your own intuition, of your own, for those of you who have been really dedicated to your spiritual path, this is like your psychic abilities, your psychic gifts, your spiritual gifts, really developing during Scorpio season. And remember, we're working with that highly esoteric energy, right? That 8th house energy. So this makes a lot of sense that we are able to tap into the 8th house is part of the trinity of the soul, which is the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th houses. Right? It's a very mystical house. We're able to really tap into that mystical energy, especially when we are also working with the shadow, working with all the aspects of the self, right? Bringing in more of that soul light. It's, of course, going to be activating our spiritual gifts as well. And I also feel this just as the angels coming through right now, with this message for people, kind of praising each and every one who's watching this for the work that you've done, for your commitment to your spiritual path, for your commitment to your evolution in this lifetime. Acknowledging that it has not been easy, but you have done an incredible job. It's like they're so proud of each and every single one of you who are watching this. And they're really acknowledging that. They're acknowledging all of your struggles, but they're also wanting you to see and acknowledge all of your triumphs. And they're telling you to continue to be resilient, to continue to persevere, because there are more triumphs in store. There is more beauty, there is more light, there is more joy, there is more fulfillment. But it's also with this be present energy. It's like, be present and be grateful for the fulfillment. Find the fulfillment that you have now. Find the joy that you have now. right? Don't look for it in some outside circumstance or event. Be aware of it right now, because it all exists right now. Yeah, so that's really beautiful. I think that's actually, yeah, I think that's a really perfect closing message right there. I was going to go deeper with it, but that feels pretty conclusive right there. I love and appreciate every single one of you so very, very much. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. My email is also down below. If you would like to book a personal reading, if you would like to book a one-on-one healing session with me, please reach out to me. It is my honor and my privilege to be able to assist you in that way. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling, how these Scorpio vibes are resonating for you. And I will talk to you all very, very soon.